And joining me on the big debate, arrest pervert Papon. I'm joined by Priya Malik, actor. Joining me live from Mumbai, Harish Iyer, child rights activist. Piyush Sachdev, co-complainant in this case. Priyank Kanungo, member of the NCPCR. Pallavi Joshi, actor. Mrinalini Deshmukh, lawyer. Nasir Abdullah, actor. Swapnil Kothari, also lawyer. Going across to Pallavi Joshi first. Pallavi Joshi, do you think a 9-year-old child in Guru Shishya Parampara should be actually kissed on the lips by somebody who's a celebrity singer and a judge of a reality show? Is this the way Guru Shishya Parampara is demonstrated in our country?
You know, Navika, I've been hearing everything that Papon's lawyer has been talking about. The thing is that under the name of Guru Shishya Parampara, a lot is being said. Guru Shishya Parampara in our country means that the disciple has to go and touch the Guru's feet and the Guru gives him, you know, Ashirvad. That is what Guru Shishya Parampara is all about. I am really shocked and appalled at this behavior because I have been part of quite a few reality shows, and I have seen especially when it's the children's schedule, I have seen the amount of trust that the parents put in all, you know, the anchors, the judges, the mentors, the makers, and it is really shocking to see the way that trust has been abused by somebody who can actually make or break their child's future. You know, parents, especially when they see a spark or when they see some kind of potential in their child, as any good parent, they want to create opportunities for the child, and reality shows become a good vehicle for them. Now, somebody who's going to judge their child's talent, they really don't want to, you know, get into the wrong side of that person, especially a judge or a mentor, because that means that their child might just get out of the competition. So I can imagine the immense pressure that the parent's child must be in now. And having said so, when you're a judge or when you're a mentor, when you're a celebrity, the responsibility of good behavior becomes, more. If it's you or if it's me or if it's any sportsman or anyone who's, more known than any other common man, our responsibility is far greater to behave in public. And this kind of behavior, this is not just a responsible behavior, I think this is criminal behavior, and I'm really shocked and appalled at what has happened today.
Criminal behavior, so he should be arrested. Mrinalini Deshmukh, shouldn't Papon be completely arrested? And he should have been arrested because this video has been out since 20th of February. That's the fact. And look at the way he says in the video live hai kya? Cut it, cut it, cut it. Because he knows there's something wrong. And somebody in that video says, "Are ye kya ho raha hai?" And then his lawyer comes out and tries to explain it that he's an expressive guy and this is a little peck on the lip in Guru Shishya Parampara. Which country are we living in? United States of America?
So Navika, you are absolutely right. You are absolutely right when you say that which is this Guru Shishya Parampara that we are talking about. Where do we have a situation where there is a peck given on the lips and on the cheek? But I think this is this is despicable, not acceptable, and obviously what is right should be done. But I think what Pallavi said is also equally important, and I think that in these reality shows, and I think I'm giving a different angle to it, maybe not about only the act of the singer, but the reality show, why are the parents so obsessive that they are willing to go to any extent to ensure that their child is in a position to win the prize or to come first or whatever, or get selected for it? I think it's a combination of both mindsets that we need to know. One mindset is of the over-ambitious parents who are trying to push
Papon the right to molest a child.
1 minute, may I
Does that give Papon the right to molest a child?
No, 1 minute. It does not. No, please, Navika, hear me out. Please do not pick out statements without understanding. I am trying to say in a very simple word, it does not give anybody the right, forget Papon, it does not give anybody a right to touch a girl inappropriately in any manner, and more so when she is a minor. It is absolutely to be condemned. I'm on the other aspect of it, and I think when you're doing a show like this, you should also see how you can even, counsel parents from this show to make them realize that this is what your daughter or your child is likely to be. Please stop being over ambitious about the whole thing. Don't go to any extent to ensure that your child, and don't live your life through or your dreams through the children which are there.
Girls should not be given the opportunities. The price should be paid by girls. Pallavi Joshi, is that what she's trying to say? That girls ko to andar rakho, ladko ko jaane do bahar. Is that what the Mukalas of this is going to be?
You are distorting my statement.
I completely disagree.
Navika, you are distorting
my statement. But that's exactly how parents are going to analyze this.
I am saying everybody should be given an opportunity.
If I may just
it is the over-ambitious parents. And if what you say is true, yes.
Yes, Pallavi.
May I?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm saying that this is really not the fault of the parents. And just because of one incident, let's not condemn all the reality shows. As I said earlier, I've been part of reality shows, and it's a beautiful environment. We have done, schedules for children, and the children were really cared for. They were pampered. They were loved. They were like, everybody enjoyed their singing. So just because of one incident, let's not malign all the other reality shows. All I'm trying to say here is that it's not the fault of the parents. If you find any potential in your child, if your child can sing well, you would put your child in a singing class. You would want your child to learn music. And if here is an opportunity in a reality show where your child can actually go and perform and make a place for herself and start her walk towards a career very early in life, then I think it's only good parenting.
Okay.
Now here the parents' trust has been abused. And this is just one incident.
Yeah, Swapnil Kothari, Papon wants us to believe that he's an expressive guy, he's got young children, he's got a family, and he has no ill intentions.
To the authorities regarding things which are there. What do you have to say on that? Then why are the parents not complaining?
I don't know what point you are making. The parents are obviously overawed by the success of Papon. They also see an opportunity for their child to do well, and by making a scene at this point, they feel their child's prospects will be ruined. Let's open up the debate. Let's get in Swapnil Kothari.
Who should be the first persons?
Yes,
who
Pranalini, let me get in the others.
Why are you protecting?
Let me get in the others. Swapnil Kothari, my pointed question to you is, a peck on the lips of a 9-year-old guy, a 9-year-old girl, is this something that expression and effusiveness can explain away?
Not at all, for the simple reason, Navika, that your very intrusive questions to Gaurang Kant were absolutely raps on the knuckles that were very, very important, and that should, I think, put Papon into a thinking, meditative mode as to whether his expressiveness, effusiveness, Guru Shishya Parampara, Indian spirituality or Indian way of behavior or reality shows, paparazzi status, celebrity status allows him this kind of leverage. The answer is an absolute no. Here it is more a question of perception. Am I the father? Am I the biological father? The answer is no. I am more of a celebrity judge there. I should be within my limits at that point in time. So I need to behave in a more appropriate fashion and not do any act which is capable of dual interpretation. Now, having said that, what is more important here is now the complaint has been made under section 7 and 8 of the POCSO. Now, section 7 is very clear about physical contact with sexual intent. Now, Navika, that phrase, sexual intent, I'm now talking like a lawyer here. That phrase, sexual intent, is very, very important here, because for somebody, as we look on the as we look at the video, we clearly see that the conduct was out of line. It was not necessary at all. It is not expressiveness. It is not Guru Shishya Parampara. It is something which is absurd and out of the line. Now, whether I need to fit in within the parameters of sexual intent is the question for a judge to decide as and when the FIR is filed and if he is arrested and if this matter goes to trial. Now, one of the things that this person can say in his defense is whether the parent, for whatever reasons, the father, for whatever reasons, Navika, whether it's ambitiousness, for whatever reasons, whether they have come into the play here and whether they have said that, yes, this act is out of line and we want to file a complaint. Now, if that was the case, then this case would definitely merit much, much more attention. Now, of course, Section 19 is very important here, that anybody can file a complaint and anybody can take up the case. Now, having said that, let us see what happens here. But your questions are very, very important. The way you've asked that is something which I would have asked the lawyer too, being a lawyer myself, that look, let's not get into this legal semantics, legalese. This thing is out of line.
What
this
you're
thing
doing.
needs to go. But
you're
now,
getting into the legal semantics. You are questioning, you are going into the area, was there sexual intent or not? What else was there? Priya Malik also on the show with us. Priya Malik, is there any doubt that there was sexual intent? Which man would actually give a peck on the lips to a 9-year-old child if there was no sexual intent, number one? And number two, when he finds out that the Facebook camera is still on, he says, cut it off, cut it off. If there was nothing wrong and if it was all in good intention, why would he say, cut it off, cut it off?
All right, thank you for the question, Navika. Here are a few definitions for everyone on the panel and everyone watching television today that will surely help you. The first definition is of the word consent, which is the act of giving permission for something to happen. The second definition is the word intent, which means purpose. The third definition is the word the term sexual assault, which means it is an unwanted, coercive action which does not involve consent. If I look at the video today, and if I look at all the definitions, whether as a lawyer, which I'm not, or as a human being, which I am, or as a woman, which clearly I am and have been for the last 30 years of my life, and I've faced unwanted touch, which people think, ऐसा तो होता ही रहता है. We have grown up in a country where we have learned to let go of these things. That is one of the primary reasons why the rape statistics and the statistics of sexual assault in our country are so high. 1 in every 3 children in India gets molested. And I'm talking about issues which are reported. As a 9-year-old, if I learn that it is okay for my teacher to kiss me on the lips, then what am I going to do with the rest of my life? So at 11, it will be okay for the teacher to spread my legs. At 13, it will be okay for the teacher to touch my breasts. Really? And I want to ask Gaurang Khan, the lawyer, as well as Papon, because they both have daughters, they both have children. Will they be okay if their child's teacher pecks them on the lip? Oh, here's another definition. The word peck, Merriam-Webster dictionary. The synonym is kiss. And there's another word, to kiss lightly. So are we living in a nation where the duration of a kiss or the pressure of a kiss is going to define what is okay and what is not okay?
Absolutely, absolutely. The right point. Nasir Abdullah.
I would really want somebody to answer all of these.
Nasir Abdullah, answer that question raised by Priya Malik. A peck is not violating, it's not molestation, but the pressure of the kiss, the duration of the kiss will judge whether Papon was actually crossing the line or not.
Yes, I'm not going to answer it exactly as you would like me to, but one thing is very clear to me, that it's obvious that the gentleman in question got carried away. And it's also a possibility.
He got carried away?
Please think about it.
He got carried away?
Misguided. Listen, I heard you out. Will you please keep quiet, whoever you are? I can't see you. Okay. So it's a misguided kiss. Let me give you an example of what happened to me. I kissed a girl of 4 who was the daughter of a friend of mine 8 years ago. By chance, I went to the corner of her lips. I meant to kiss her on the cheek. and she actually freaked out because her mother had told her what's a bad touch, etc., etc. So she asked me, she said, why did you kiss me on the lips? And I was like, oh my God, I got so scared, I didn't mean to. But in my haste, and I assure you, there was no intention to violate her. I'm not that sick yet. I'm actually looking for a partner who's about 45 years old. But that can happen too, in a moment of going over the top, being carried away. These things happen. I've seen them happening. I'm not defending him. It is wrong. It was uncomfortable. And if it had lasted more than a second, I would have said, press the charges. But because it was brief and it was over, he realized his mistake. That's why he said, cut it.
Priya,
and as for the comment
that's
of the
the
other guy who
duration
said,
answer. That's the duration answer. Because it was brief, because it was light, because it was brief and because it was light, it's okay. He found out that he got carried away. Does that explain what Papon did? And what about the video camera that was on? What about the fact he says cut it off? What about the fact that he actually looks, he holds her face in his hands and actually goes and aims at her lips? All of that, it does not seem like intent to Mr. Nasir Abdullah, but what he's looking at is the brevity of the
I don't think so. I mean, yes, it will be construed as that. It will be construed as
Make
that.
up your mind, Mr. Nasir Abdullah. Make up your mind.
Face or given him a stern warning.
Nasir, to call
I would
this,
have been very
to call
upset
this
if
an
I were her
accidental
father.
act after you have watched the video is preposterous.
Not accidental. I didn't say that. I said he got carried away. It was wrong. I am not letting him go. Please don't put words in my mouth. Please don't put words into my mouth.
So a
it
man can get carried away. You hit the net when you wanted to go across. Are we trying to say? So, you know, anyone can have that excuse from now on. Oh, I'm sorry, I got carried away. If a man accidentally brushes his hand off my backside and does not mean it, his first reaction will be an apology.
Yes.
No. I'm not saying that every man who has ever brushed against me has brushed against me with sexual intent. We live in a country which is a very crowded country. I travel in a lot of public spaces. I'm sorry, you must let me speak now.
It would have been fine.
But
this is the organ
if a man
of smell,
has done that
this is the
and
organ
realized
of the taste,
it at that moment
and this
in time,
is the organ of sight.
his reaction would be an immediate apology to me.
If he had kissed her on the nose, it would have been fine. There would have been none of this happening. It's unfortunate, and it was wrong. I'm not saying it was right. It was unnecessary. It was unnecessary. I'm good with that.
Harish Iyer, do you buy that explanation? Do you buy that explanation? If it wasn't wrong, if it wasn't intended, and if it wasn't a sexual overture, why is Mr. Papon hiding? Why is he not out there apologizing and getting on with life? Why is he not facing the world saying, okay guys, I made a mistake, it was not meant to be like that, I have a clean heart, come on, made a mistake, excuse me. Why is he not doing that? No, he's not. He's not facing the world. His lawyer is, and his lawyer admits that it was a peck on the lips and it was in Guru Shishya Parampara. Harish Iyer, you buy that?
First of all, there's no guru who should be doing something like this with his Shishya. And secondly, I would like to say that if Papon was truly apologetic, he would have apologized at that moment. He wouldn't have asked the person to switch off the camera. He would have apologized at that moment. That's what good, decent people do. Yes, we live in a crowded country. We brush upon people. Sometimes we go and hug people without knowing the consequences, but we apologize at that moment if we are feeling guilty about it. He has no guilt. Secondly, I would also blame the parents. It is the parents' responsibility. I totally agree with Mrinalini. It is the parents' responsibility to ensure that they stand with their children. I am a survivor of child sexual abuse. My parents did not stand with me, and I hold that guilt against them even today. If you stand with your child, despite and in spite of everything, despite the fact that they might lose an opportunity, despite the fact that they will lose everything in their career, despite the fact that people might call them names, if you stand with your child and not make a statement like this, because it's quite evident that child did not consent to something like this. The child was actually shocked when that video, when he tried kissing her. It's all very evident, which simply means that the parents, it becomes the parents' responsibility to actually stand with their child. And thirdly, I would also like to say that India has, like we all of us have this habit of petting young children without the child's consent. Mama ke paas chale jao, mama puppy de rahe hain, chacha ke paas chale jao, chacha puppy de rahe hain. It is not all right. If you were in the United States of America or any other country, there could be laws against you. It is India, and we take affection a little too freely and too liberally. And that's something that needs to stop. And this is an alarm. This is an alarm for every parent to stand up with their children and not to hide behind fake fame, which will die off tomorrow.
But you do agree,
but
Harish,
if you stand up with your child
Harish
and you hold,
you do
hold
agree
your hand,
the fact
hold the hand
is
of your child
that
and say, "I'm
parents
with
could
you."
come under pressure. Harish, you do agree that parents could come under pressure. It happens all the time.
They should not come under pressure.
No, they should is another matter. But they normally do.
If you have given birth to a child, Navika, if something like this happened to your child, you will stand with your child, Navika. You will stand with your child. Priya will stand with her child. What's wrong with those parents? Why don't they stand with their children?
Point.
There is no pressure that defines something like this.
Very valid
Piyush
point.
Sachdev, you took this matter to the NCPCR.
Yeah.
I ask you, you saw this video.
Yeah.
I mean, should all of us in society not feel strongly about this? You know, people are saying, Nasir Abdullah saying it's a mistake, it happened, he got carried away. Is it as simple as that? You can just brush it off that people get carried away. It was not meant to be this way. It just happened.
Absolutely not. That's what any accused would say. You just get carried away. There are so many crimes happening against the women in the country and with children, and most of the crimes are done by people who are known to the victims or to the survivors. And now, when you get that defense out that it just happened by mistake, I got carried away, it doesn't work like that, especially when the people are celebrities. Celebrities have this burden on their shoulders. They are watched by millions and millions of people. And when a celebrity goes out and does this and then comes out with a statement saying it was just a mistake, I didn't mean to do it, it was a faulty camera angle, Guru-Shishya relationship, this is absolutely preposterous. Somebody has to take a stand and say, no, this should not be allowed.
Absolutely. Swapnil Kothari, look at the complete difference between the Gaurang Kant, who was the lawyer of Papon, his statement and Papon's statement. Papon's statement says it was a mistake. Gaurang Kant says, Papon says it was a faulty camera angle. Gaurang Kant says, yes, it was a peck on the lips. Which side is speaking the truth? The entire intent is exposed right there between the client and the lawyer.
Right. Navika, yes, I agree with you there that he should not have said कि ये camera live है या नहीं, and then he should not have said a statement in contradiction with his lawyer. His lawyer has been more forthcoming on the fact that yes, there was a peck on the lips. Now, as far as Navika, just one difference there, one aspect where I differ with you, where you asked about the question of consent. Now, I would not recommend to Papon at all that next time when he wants to kiss a girl of 9 years of age, he should say, should I kiss you on your lips? I'm sorry, the girl is not in a position to make that informed consent.
In a minor case, she is not in a position to give consent. Anybody who is below the age of 18, there is no question of consent.
Correct. Now, having said that, Navika, now as far as these are the one or two things, his contradictory statement as opposed to his lawyer, his telling that please shut off the cameras. Now, these are the things which do open up a Pandora's box as far as he is concerned. And now my only concern, Navika, my only concern is that if this case
you are a
goes to
lawyer.
trial,
You are a lawyer. Why don't you think that Mr. Papon should have been arrested by now? Because this is a hapless 9-year-old minor we are talking about. And this, according to the admission of his lawyer himself, is a peck on the lip.
Right.
So shouldn't he have been arrested by now? Or do we have to go through the legalese of whether it was a sexual intent or not? The point that you were trying to put across?
Yeah, Navika, the reason is that there is a procedure that has been spelled out in the Criminal Procedure Code that the police has to conduct an investigation. Once it comes to the conclusion that yes, an offence has been committed, then it goes ahead and files an FIR and makes an arrest. Now, if an FIR has been registered by the National Commission for the Child's Thing, then they can conduct the investigation thereafter and make an arrest. Now, having said that, Navika, there are two loops that I still have to clear. One is that do I, want then the child to go through the testimony and all of those things where she might be called in the witness box, etc. That is one. That may be a little bit uncomfortable, but sometimes if it's necessary, we have to go through that.
Why should a minor be called in the witness box
No,
at
that
all?
may be necessary and we should not.
Why should a minor be called in the witness box?
Because if you're saying that she felt uncomfortable and all of that, she may be.
No.
No, 9-year-old can be, no? Because a person of 7 years of age can, his or her testimony. Yeah, why not?
Sure.
No, it may
well,
it's
well
a
let
different
me
thing
get
that you
in
may not
Priyank
call.
Kanungo,
But the
member
fact
of
is
the
that a 9-year-old will be
NCPCR.
called.
Let me get in Priyank Kanungo, member of the NCPCR. Mr. Priyank Kanungo,
Please.
the question is, the NCPCR is in possession of this complaint. We are sitting here debating it. This incident happened really 3 days ago. Is the NCPCR a toothless body which can do nothing?
We got the complaint today, and we have seek a report from Mumbai Police. We instructed already to Maharashtra Police to inquire into the matter and give a action taken report within 7 days. See, it's a mandatory obligation under section 19 on us, on you, on the lawyer who complained us, and police will register the case. Then police will register the case first. It is also mandatory as per the POCSO Act. So we are quite confident in the time of 7 days when we will get an action taken report, the case will be registered.
Well, Mrunalini Deshmukh, should Papon be arrested forthwith or not?
Well, my views on is that arrest is an ultimate step, but yes, an inquiry should be conducted. Definitely, there should be statements taken from all those present at the actual site when it happened. It should the statement of the parents, because what the girl has confided to the parents should be taken into consideration. And obviously, if he is guilty and if he has done such a horrible act of kissing on the lips of a 9-year-old girl, then obviously he should be taken to the task. But my question is, let's not put the cart before the horse. Let the process be done. And if he is found guilty, and as one member of the who earlier spoke and said that they have asked the police for a report, I think that's a very positive step. If the police is going to make investigation and they're going to give a report to it, and then obviously the law will take its own course, and we have an extremely empowered enactment in the POCSO
somebody
Act,
to
which will
forget
deal
about
with all
this
these
case.
things.
Priya, does this not seem like one of those things which happens? People wait for time to pass and celebrities go on with their lives thinking it's a bad dream, put it behind them, because people will tend to forget and move on with their lives.
It is a system which you should say, it is,
Priya?
it is a system which you should be checking with.
Let's not forget, I'll let the lady finish. Let's not forget that it has been 5 years since the Nirbhaya rape case, and we still have people who have not been given the justice that they should have been given a long time ago. And I'm talking about Nirbhaya's rape case, which is the biggest example of sexual assault and rape in our country. We can't rely on a police report taking its own course. Let's not forget our cultural boundaries as well. I know of cases where parents of rape victims do not want to believe that their daughter has been raped because they feel that that will ruin her chances of a decent marriage, a decent career, and a decent life ahead. We need to make sure that people, including parents and children, are not uncomfortable discussing assault. We need to be in a safe space where it is okay to talk.
Our viewers are incensed with the way Papon has behaved. In fact, Rajendra Sharma says on involve.in, Deposition of the girl not necessary. Video footage enough to prosecute Papon. Let him prove his intentions in court. In fact, a peck for daughter, younger sister, Shishya is on the forehead or top of the head. Papon should not misuse his stature. That's coming from Yogi Bear. Also, other comments coming in from V. Radhakrishna Iyer, who says, sting operations on Bollywood lanes, dirty businesses in the name of auditions should be done by Times Now. Also, some people coming out and saying, police must arrest the pervert Papon immediately. Agnel Pereira from Goa says this. Well, people are incensed with the behavior of mentor Papon, who says it was a mistake and it was just out of affection. But the fact is, he crossed the line. This was not just a peck on the lips. And this is no Guru Shishya Parampara. Not in India. Not acceptable anywhere. Shishyas touch the feet of gurus, not get pecks on their lips from their gurus. Papon, if you have any self-righteousness, come out, face the world, answer our questions and apologize and face the law, because you should be behind bars for doing what you did to a 9-year-old. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me on Arrest Pervert Papon debate here on the News Hour tonight. Taking a short break. News Hour at 10 up next with Anand Narsimhan.